before this next group plays, I have the special privilege to also give the Senior Orchestra Awards. Now, normally our orchestra performances tend to be after Senior Awards night. And next Thursday, I started my master's degree, and I have a class on Thursday. I've never missed a Senior Awards night, but Ms. Hilton gave me the night off. So, though also, I'm really happy that I get to get the orchestra award out on an orchestra performance without it being a surprise. And so I'm happy to do that. And I have to brag on this group of guys right here. Number one, I think it's pretty cool. It's a group of guys. And when I started orchestra in the 6th grade, and I was about this high and had big glasses at Lakeside Middle School, and I carried, it didn't help that I was carrying a little violin case. I got beat up like every day. And so guys want to be able to play music and do things that, it's kind of macho. And, at least that was for me. I don't know about it, but I'm proud of those guys because they really play well together. And so I think you're going to enjoy this next piece. But the 3 T.L. Hanna Orchestra Award winners are also in this group tonight. And I want to be able to give their awards to them, and then we're going to perform for you. I have 3 orchestra awards this year. And the first is to Jordan Hanner. These 4 take private lessons, and two. I just think this is really neat. And if you're willing to, we know that the instruments cost a lot. It's really nerve-wracking for an orchestra student to go to a parent and say, you need to spend extra money on your kid for a new violin and all these lessons. That's scary for me. I get nervous. Parents intimidate me. You guys intimidate me. I'm scared of y'all. But the truth is that my parents hadn't invested in me at an early age when they figured out that I was good at something, because I just tripped over my feet most of the time. They put me in private lessons in the 6th grade, and I took all the way from the 6th grade all the way to the 12th grade. It seemed like I was the only kid that was in my orchestra all the way up through all those years that took private lessons. And just the difference in the ability level is enormous. And you'll be able to see that. Not to say that the rest of the orchestra is not talented and not fun and enjoy orchestra too. But there are people who go into music as their profession. And this is what they want to do in their careers. And I think it's important to note that doesn't happen unless there's some additional investment. And so I want to say that I think it's pretty neat that Jordan Peralise and Preston Griffith both have been taken from Kathy Perry. So I know when they play, I know that y'all think that I did everything. I taught them everything they knew. And but it wouldn't be fair for me to be able to take that credit. They just are outstanding, and they just make me look good. And so I'm going to give credit where credit due. And I also want to be able to point out that Kathy Perry is going to be taking my place at T.L. Hanna as I've transitioned to be an orchestra director and teaching 6 classes of guitar at Southwood Middle School next year. And so it's kind of a bittersweet thing, but it is also a positive transition. This was nothing, I wasn't angry at T.L. Hanna or anything like that, because lots of times these things happen and there's a cause for it, nothing like that. Our district is positioned to take our orchestra ensembles to new places. And almost all of us are being transitioned next year somehow. And so I just want to make sure that everybody knows that the orchestra is in great hands. I don't think I wouldn't have been comfortable putting it in somebody else's hands. So I'd like to introduce to you also Kathy Perry. We're going to be working side side by side, and I'm really excited about that. There's just great things to come. The next orchestra award I'm going to give is to Jordan Pearley. I also might add that he did the orchestra a service when he went out and won Mr. Tail 2 weeks ago. We have Mr. Tail Hanna too. Jordan is planning on being he's majoring in violin performance at Anderson University. And so we've been joking this year that we are actually going to be in school together. So it's going to be pretty cool. The last orchestra award goes to Preston Griffith. While Mr. Tail Hanna pageant was going on, Preston was out on the soccer field scoring goals. And I was excited about that. I have a 9-year-old, and he's been scoring 3, 4. I watched him. I don't know if you guys have been part of this. I'm sure you have. And you watch these little kids in soccer, and they're just all going somewhere, and it seems like nothing happens. And I did that for about 3 years, and then all of a sudden this year, Noah has just scoring 2, 3 goals a game, and I look like I'm, at a football game, like just an annoying dad screaming at the top of his lungs. But that's pretty awesome. I also want to point out that when you make an investment in a child and they play, y'all, there's money out there. And a lot of people just kind of take that for granted and go, well, you're not going to make a whole... I just want to share that in 6 or 7 auditions that Preston had, he's going to be going to Florida State University, which, when I was a Clemson fan, before I went to South Carolina, I hated Florida State, but it's okay. They have a great... See, people say that as a Carolina fan or a Clemson fan, you have to hate either South Carolina or Clemson, and I don't. I just hate Florida State. But I will say, out of all the 6 or 7, I can't remember how many it was, but the grand total of scholarships that Preston received was over $100,000.
All right.
It'd be nice to have that somewhere on ESPN, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
These guys really have been a blessing to work with. They really do make your job a lot easier because you don't have to work so hard. These kids just play. It's really hard for me to imagine in 2000 starting the program at Tail Hanna and being able to have this result now. In a lot of ways, I feel really inadequate at what I do, and I think a lot of us kind of fit in this category, but